welcome to another episode of Ken's Training. Today's training is going to be on Roto lock seals. This is a Copeland compressor. I don't know, it's about 7 to 10 ton compressor, okay? And what happened is the way they did the suction and discharge on the compressor that I'm working with here, it has like a union right here, and it's called Roto locks. And what happens is that there's a Teflon seal in here that makes it up. So what I'm doing is I got a bad compressor in the unit that's right over here. I'll show it to you in a second. And what happens is this compressor came out of another unit. So I'm going to take this compressor and put it in this unit because I don't care about that other unit. It's a spare unit. These Roto lock seals are made out of Teflon. They're only good for one shot. Once you squeeze those and put those together, that's it. Then you need to get new seals so that you can, if you're going to reuse the compressor or change it or do something like that. Now, here's the data plate on the compressor right here. It's right on the top of the compressor. It tells you the model number and the information. I gave the supply house all this information, but still they sent me one size was the correct size and one size was not correct. So what I did was I pulled out the two Roto seals here. These are the two that I pulled out right here. And this one goes here and this one goes here. And then I brought them down to the supply house, and the size that they did not have for me, they were able to match up. So that way I was able to get two brand new ones. Now, can you go ahead and put a little deep zoom in on this section right over here? And what happens is, this actually fits in like a groove right inside here. So this here's the old one that came out. But basically, when I get the new one out, it goes in like this, and you kind of push that in, and when you sandwich that together, it will squeeze that Teflon down and make your seal. I'm still going to do a nitrogen pressure test when I change out the compressor, but this is basically how you go about working with these Roto lock seals. I'll show you the unit we're going to pull out. Okay, so here's the air conditioning unit that I'm working with. It's got two compressors, compressor 1 and one over here is compressor 2. This compressor here has got internal damage. I diagnosed this one on 9/3/2014. I put a little tag here. Compressor 1 has internal damage and needs replacement. I could tell that it had internal damage because the thing sounded like hell. I put my amp probe on there. It wasn't pulling practically any amperage at all, and it wasn't pumping anything. It was pretty obvious that it had internal damage. The good news is that it was not an electrical burnout, so the refrigerant wasn't contaminated by an electrical burnout. The bad news is that I got this compressor I got to change out, and this thing weighs like about 125 pounds. There was all this electrical and stuff was all here like this. I got to pull all this stuff out, break, of course I pulled the charge out of the whole system. But basically I wanted to show you these Roto locks. So this compressor is the bad compressor, it's got to come out. That other compressor I showed you is going in here. Now, because this is all OEM, it's all original, it should be a direct replacement, and the compressors match up identical. Now you see this right here, this is the discharge side, and this here is the Roto lock. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold one side down while we take a wrench and break that seal. Once this is broken, and I get this compressor out and I get the new compressor up here, before I make up those seals, I'm going to put the brand new Teflon in on the compressor that's going in here. I'm going to put those Teflon Roto lock seals in here, push this compressor into place, and then tighten that down amongst everything else that I need to bolt up. And then once that's all nice and tight on the suction and the discharge, I'm going to put my manifold gauges on, grab some nitrogen, and do a pressure test to make sure that I'm tight. Of course, I have to, check everything else because I got some other stuff here that I'm going to be pressure testing, but I'm also going to pressure test those Roto-Lock seals. Now, the benefit of a Roto-Lock seal is that I don't need to braze my new compressor, my replacement compressor, into this unit. So that's the benefit of the Roto-Lock, is that I don't need to braze. The thing that's against it is that you got to make sure you get the right replacement seals when you go and do this job. So basically, that's kind of how it works. Once I get this one out and I get the new one back up in here, I'll try to show you how the last few stages of putting that together. Okay, so I kind of just broke this apart, moved that out of the way. I'm working on the discharge side first. I got 2 wrenches here. I want to use the double wrench technique because I do not want to disturb that joint going into the compressor. If I disturb that joint, I'm going to toast the compressor. That's not my intention. So in order to protect that, I'll try a double wrench technique. Okay. There we go. So basically that's it. I got to keep moving that all the way, move all that all the way back, and then we'll try to show you the suction side. Okay, here's the compressor, the bag compressor that we just took out of this compartment, and we just put it on this table. And with 2 men, let me tell you, it was not exactly an easy task. Now, here you can see the seals currently still in place. This is what they look like when they're still in place. If you wanted to pull that out, you could take a utility knife or a small, very fine, flat-bladed screwdriver, work on that, pick that, and then you can pick that out and create the channel. We want to prep up the new compressor to put it in here, and I'll show you how to do that right now. Okay, because moving these compressors around is a little bit of a chore, I created this, basically it's just a 2x4 with a rope and a carabiner here at the end. On the compressor itself, it has a hoop attachment in order in which I can connect onto. So what I do is I take that, I connect on like this, tie up my 2x4. Now we're going to take this compressor, and for now we'll just put it down on the floor over here. So we're going to lift up like this. Hang on. We got a good grip. Right. Go up now. Up. All right, hold it. Make sure it's okay. Go up. All right, that's good. All right, now we're going to lower it down. Right there. All right, that's good. Now hold on. Hold that 2x4. Okay, now we're going to take the replacement compressor and put that up here so we can put it up here. So we take the replacement compressor, which is right here, the good one. We're going to connect on like that. We're just going to take it and put it up here. Okay, and now we're going to get ready to put this into place. All right, here we go to put this puppy in. All right, grab that side. Okay. Say that again? No, because it'll fall out. All right, just like that. Easy does it now, easy does it. You don't want to swing too much. Done. You just got to get 2 hands on the wood. Come down slightly, Ruben. So you push it a little more. You want us to lift more? We can lift more. Okay, so here we are. I got the 4 bolts holding the compressor down but not locked in tight, so I can kind of maneuver the compressor left and right. Now we're going to show you the first roto lock that I'm working with, which is right here. This is the discharge side. It's a smaller side. Here's the brand new seal. There's a groove in here, and I'm going to take this and just put that in like that. Then I'm going to get my discharge line over here. We had to bend it out of the way slightly in order to get everything into place. Okay, and now I'm just going to catch a thread. So I got a couple of threads caught on here. Now I got to do the same thing for the suction side. Okay. Here's the suction side. I got the brand new O-ring here. I'm going to bring this back with my hand. Okay, putting that seal in the groove. Make sure it's flat and it's not coming out. Then I'm going to bring in the rest of my service valve and then tighten that down. They don't give you a lot of room to work in here, but basically that's the process. I'm going to catch this and then I'm going to tighten it down. Here we are on the discharge side, just holding one side while I tighten that up. Okay, it's getting taut. Right about there. I was actually beginning to twist all of this right here, so I don't want to go any further. That's as far as I'm going to take it right there. And now I'll work on the suction side. Alright, so here we are on the suction side. This is so congested in here. This is the wrench I'm going to use right here. I got it snug down. I can't even give it the double wrench technique that I want to give it because I really can't get the second wrench in here. So I'm just going to tighten that down. Right about like that. And I still got to do a nitrogen pressure test and stuff. I'll show you that when I get to it. Alright, here we are. I got my manifold gauges hooked up, suction discharge. I got my valves front seated, not back seated, front seated. So the whole system's isolated except for the compressor and the parts that I touched. I'm going to juice up my nitrogen. Okay, my tank pressure is almost 1500 and there's already some tension on here with this. There's 100 pounds right there. Now, I got no pressure inside the compressor. I'm opening up the discharge side. Suction side's not showing any pressure, which is good. That tells me that the discharge valves in the compressor are holding. So those are good valves. I'm going to go ahead and open this one up. Now I got nitrogen going into the compressor. I can hear it going in. I can see it on my gauge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it up to 50 pounds or so. Here, I'll stop there. That's 25 pounds. On the high side I got almost 90, almost 100 pounds. I'm going to shut my valves off. Now, I'm going to take my big glue. This is one of my connections that I touched. Bubbles. Everything looks good so far. I'm going to go ahead and check my Roto lock seal, which is right here. And I don't see anything. So the discharge side is showing good on the two connections that I touched. So I'm going to go over to the suction side, and I have much less pressure. I only got 25 pounds there, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot and see if I can discover anything. Look at that, my brush just broke off right there. Alright, give me a second to digest. Alright, so I'm just going to use my spray bottle since my brush that I like fell apart on me. I use a rag just so that the big glue doesn't go everywhere. I'm just kind of trying to hold it and catch it. I don't see anything. I gotta get a flashlight and a mirror to check the back, but basically I don't see anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm just gonna go ahead and crank that up. I'm gonna get this pressurized to 100 pounds. And once I get this pressurized to 100 pounds, what I'm gonna do, okay, that might be 100 right there, hold on. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Alright, still going in. Once I get this pressurized to 100 pounds, I'm going to shut off my nitrogen, pull that away, and see if I hold pressure. That's another one of the tests that I'm going to do here. But I would like to get this up to 100 pounds. Let's see what we got here. Just about 100. Okay, right there. That's at 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this off. I'm going to relax on this. And I'm going to bleed this pressure off. Okay. I'll lay my nitrogen tank down just so I don't knock it over by accident. Now what I can do is I can monitor these pressures to see if I'm bleeding off. I can even let this sit for an hour or so, seeing if there's any needle deflection at all. But I'll go ahead and do another pressure test. But basically, that's how you work with the Roto lock seals. That was the whole point of this video, was to show you when you have a compressor with Roto locks, that you have to make sure that you match it up appropriately. And that was the reason why I wanted to make this particular video segment. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. The video, please click on like if you did. Check out my YouTube channel, kentraining.com. I'll see you later.